Seeker, and how you can support its development while getting some awesome perks. By subscribing to our legendary tier on YouTube or becoming a paid member on our Discord or Patreon, you'll get early access to all Legend Seeker lore and mechanics. This means you'll be among the first to dive into the world of Legend Seeker and give direct feedback that will help shape the game. But that's not all. Supporters will also be the first to playtest the system and will get exclusive invites to private streams where we discuss the game in detail. Your input will play a huge role in making Legend Seeker the best that it can be. Now, for those of you who love watching our tabletop role-playing game shows, supporting Legend Seeker comes with some fun bonuses for the casts. Here's how it works. If you are a Copper or Common member on Discord or Patreon, you can give a $20 benefit to a player of your choice. Silver and Uncommon members can give 2 benefits to 2 players of your choice. If you go the YouTube route, you can give a $50 benefit to a player of your choice. And for the ultimate support, Gold and Mythic members on Discord and Patreon give a $20 benefit to 3 players of your choice. You can choose from all casts across Moonskull. Every bit of support goes directly towards making Legend Seeker a reality. It helps fund the art, writing, editing, and eventual publishing of the game. So, if you want to be a part of this journey and support our shows, join our legendary tier on YouTube or become a member on Discord or Patreon. We couldn't do it without you, and we're excited to build Legend Seeker together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the game.
All right, I just realized that for some reason my desktop audio was turned off on one of those, so I'm not sure if those had sound. I'm not really sure. If they didn't, I apologize, but it looked like they were playing sound. Except for the legal one. That one doesn't make any noise. Okay, good. So, Chrysanthemum, the leftovers, there always seems to be, whenever we're getting ready to go somewhere and there's been food, getting ready to go, somebody's like, oh, wait, did you get a piece of the cherry pie? Did you take some ham? Wait, I don't think we gave you any of the blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, I forgot to take out the whatever. And then we're like, just a minute. And you'll, containers popping open and then more containers being popped open and then tinfoil. And then suddenly you have more food in your hands, which is never a bad thing. Unless, of course, it's something you don't like, which is very rare. But, you know how it goes. Yes, exactly. Yep. Hey, Shadow Warden. Hello, Kyle. Hello, Chrysant. Hello, Jensen. Who else did I miss here? Did I miss anybody else? Hello, me. I ran out of the meeting we were having at work. We were doing a little celebration and retrospective because the company had just hit the 35-year anniversary, so doing all kinds of fun stuff. So I slammed food down while I was setting up the stream in the last 5 minutes, and I ate 2 slices of meatloaf, some mashed potatoes, and corn. So that food is probably about here right now, making its way down. I'm very, very full all of a sudden. Just, hey guys, I'm full of food. Anyway, I'm about to work on some notes for Göteborg, the big city that is technically the capital of Friesland. Yeah, here we go. We'll just do that. If you caught it, you caught it. Good job. All right. I started walking or looking around this, trying to come up with the ideas, and guess what? I started a stream, so I get a text. Let's see what I got. Oh, good. It was a spam text. Even better. Even better. All right. Göteborg, a compact. Yeah, it is a compact. Wooden and stone-walled fortress. I'm gonna put it this way. Okay. We're gonna reframe how I'm describing it. Its center, compact stone-walled fortress in the Great Rocky Promontory, which overlooks the Midlands of Froste and Gutenberg is a traditional seat of power of the kingdom. Over the centuries, the city expanded behind fortress stood, and the lower city is encircled by newer, though still ancient, Agrian walls. The outer perimeter of the city and the... What would I call that? Say the newer. Put it down as protected by 30 wooden walls, ditches, oop, I gotta type fortifications, right? All right, the outer perimeter of the newer portion of the city is protected by sturdy wooden walls and deep ditches, no less on scale compared to aggregate locations. The gates. What are, does anyone know off the top of their head what wooden shielding fortifications, like if you have a timber fortification that's from the outside facing you guys, it's a ditch coming down up, you've got the wooden wall, but then they oftentimes have wooden embrasures like built over it so you can see out through the holes. They're not like spiky wood, but they have an actual wooden roof on the top of that kind of walkway that runs around the wall. It's a battlement, but I don't know if there's a specific name for it in a timber fort. I'm the dwarf Sleepy. Aw, nice. I get a dwarf name. Woo! Calvino was sitting on my lap a little bit ago. And he was very comfortable. And then Benji came over because Benji was actually inside. I had the door cracked open so he could go in and out. But he was inside and he came over and mouthed at me and wanted to be on my lap. So he hopped up and that drove Calvino off. And he immediately started doing his little crickly crackly version of a purr. It's very like, it's adorable. He sounds like a little, I don't know, a coffee grinder or something. And he was really happy for about 2 minutes. And then I stopped petting him because I was getting everything ready and I was eating. And then he took off. And then I don't know why, but I heard squeak, squeak, squeak at the door. And I was like, oh, somebody else wants to come in? No, it was them. They wanted to go out. So I opened the door and they're all like, look around. They just ran off into the weeds and stuff. I'm like, what? Okay, something's happening outside. I didn't see any hawks in the air. I don't know what they keyed into, but they were like, it's going down. We gotta go. So now they're all outside doing stuff. Anyway, I only knew Mott and Bailey, but that's a fortress, right? Yeah, so Mott and Bailey, it's a wooden fortification, and they have either an artificial or a modified hill with the fort sitting on top. So it's a steep-sided little hill, so you can only get up to like the hill from one way to force defenders or force attackers into a certain, I guess, area. Timber fortification. All right, fortification terminology. Okay, fortification terms. All right, let's go into here. Medieval fortification and ancient medieval terms for fortification. All right, and castle terminology. We'll grab that one too. All right. Oh my gosh, that's very painful on my eyes. Ah, dark mode. I don't know why that got turned off. Oh, I remember why I turned it back on, because this dark mode turns all the color off half the time. And so it unfortunately gets rid of all color because I have it turned up really high. So I'm gonna turn the grayscale down. There we go. Now I can see some buttons, because some buttons disappear in that mode. All right, a banquette is an elevation of earth within a fort 3 or 4 feet wide and less than 5 feet from the top of the parapet to enable short men to fire over the wall. Hey, for dwarves. All right, bastion, casemate, bomb-proof chambers. Okay. Cordon, thin shelf of stone that extends out from the walls of the fort where the parapet joins the scarp. Ugh. Okay, I'm bookmarking this page. This is a very good page. I like this one. Forgot to tell your mom hid more lemon Oreos in the same spot. My dad forgot and sat on them. Oh, no, didn't she say that it wouldn't be a problem, that he wouldn't sit on them? I thought I remember her saying something about that. Yeah, I'm going to look and see Palisades, because I think Palisades are the side part. But, yeah, I'm reading through these little these spots here. So the cordon is the thing that sticks out. The wall opposite the scarp on the outside of a ditch. What is the escarpment? I know it is main slope of the outer walls of the fort. Okay, opposite side of the ditch from the scarp is called the counter scarp. That's fine. Okay. This is for cannons. Those don't really help. Okay. All right. Just making a note to myself in there. Sallyport. Sally forth. All right. This one is... Oh boy, this one's hard to read. A breaching battery, bomb-proof berm. That's the berm. Yep, the bastion, the barbette. Oh no, that's for artillery. Approach the apex, the angle, blah blah. Advanced works. That is felled trees with the branches sharpened. Oh, interesting. That's what an abatis is. We were wondering what those spikes were that we, facing out. They're called an abatis. Okay. Or the chevaux de brie. Horizontal wooden beams, sharp wooden lances, the spikes at 45-degree angles. Yep. Communication trench, corduroy. Hardened surface created by laying parallel logs. Corduroy road. Corduroy pants. Okay. Line of fortifications connecting two bastions. Nope. Defilade, ditch. Earthwork, embrasure. I'm getting through these ones first because there is one that's specifically about wooden forts. Well, branches tied into a bundle by wire rope. Defensive purpose was to construct revetments, field magazines. Okay, and blinds. All right. This is stakes or palisades horizontally placed along the berm or at top of a counterscarp to stop climbing attackers. Okay. Gavion. Huh. Okay. Mental slope. Headlog. Okay. Part of the rampart on the side where the defenders are located. Huh. That's funny. Loophole. An opening in the fortification through which small arms could be fired. Hmm. That. Okay, yeah, I'm saving these. Yeah, the palisade is a line of sharpened sticks angled forward to the attacker to stop or slow their movement. Three different terms for different versions of that same thing. Yeah, top of the rampart. Okay, that doesn't help. Picket. Ah, two. No. Oh, that doesn't help. Okay. I thought that was going to be it. Quaker guns. Large logs painted to resemble artillery pieces. They were used to produce the impression that a fortification was of greater strength. Okay. Rifle pit. Salient. Okay, the portion of a fortification jutting out towards the enemy can be vulnerable points because they can be attacked from multiple directions. Nevertheless, constructed to link already entrenched position. Okay, that doesn't help. All right, I think we're going to go on to the medieval and... Oh, the medieval one is very useful here. Find the wall. For clear ground. Curtain wall. Okay. That's an interesting one. All right, let's see. Cross-shaped opening in a wall is an Arvestelina. Oh, I would just call them an arrow hole, but all right. Boulevard or a bulwark. Brattis. I have to zoom in on this page because they made it tiny, tiny text. Always lay down on the couch. Hello, Dave. Once or twice, but then I mean, I swear you've said that before in a different writing stream. He hit them on the couch before and asked how Pop hasn't sat on them and said he would never, and now he did. Oh no, the cookies have been squished. Well, they're pre-broken for... What can you do with broken up lemon Oreos? You could put them in a milkshake. You could crumble them on top of lemon meringue pie. I don't know. You could do all kinds of stuff. Put them on top of lemon pudding. Temporary defense, low outside ramparts, medieval Scotland. Yeah, Bruch. Okay. Outer wall surrounding the keep of a castle with a raised platform at the back that could be reached from top by postern or drawbridge. Chemise. Okay. That could be. I guess, I mean, it's technically the crenellation would be roofed. I could just say a roofed crenellation. Let me check this one out. Okay. Notification of remove boardings related to towers. Right, yeah, hoarding would work. Okay, so the Brattis or the hoarding. Many fortifications had their roofs removed and hoardings were added to towers. Attackers brought siege towers up against fortifications, frequently necessary to raise the height of the walls and towers by constructing hoardings above them. That's not visually very distinct. It's not going to help. Okay, a breastwork, parapet, or gallery. Well, I guess this makes sense. It would be the Brattis. Overhanging wooden hoardings and covered patches were built on top of castle walls. Yeah, we're going to call it hoardings. gate supports the timber. We'll say wooden hoardings. Oops. If I type wooden right. Featuring. We'll say well-made. Well-made pennants, detailed carvings, and decorations. So even their wooden fortifications aren't simple timber. They're timber that's been placed, carved, and taken care of for decades and possibly centuries. Kingdoms bearing the kingdom heraldry, detailed carvings. Move this part here to get it grammatically sound, but also just feel better. Intention 2, pennants bearing the kingdom's heraldry. All right, so we've got to figure out different parts of this wondrous little city. So they are going to have a few different sections I want to look at. Look up a picture here. I'm looking at how some of these towns are kind of set up and what normally they had in certain parts. I'm looking for maps. These are a lot of really beautiful pictures. Those are really helpful. All right. Oh, and this one is in Polish. That's not helpful. Thank you, German town with Polish information. Huh. That's weird. Okay. Sure. Okay, cool castle and walled town from the Middle Ages. Okay. We'll give them a merchant's gate. I think we're going to classify these by which gate they come to the town through. There's going to be, I think, 4 gates. Is that what I said it was before? Because this road's going to, it's going to be 3. There'll be technically 3 gates. So I think this will be the merchant's gate because it allows them to go out along this main road, but it also heads down this road. So the merchant gate is going to come in past the town there. We're going to have, probably going to call this the King's Gate because this heads to the King's Wold. And then we're going to have this one that heads up into wherever and call this the Fortress Gate or the whatever. So we'll do 3 gates. We'll do a King's Gate. All right, we're gonna put these in as a heading 5, a heading 5, and another heading 5. Ooh, look at that. So this is gonna feel a lot more like a Dark Ages or Middle Ages kind of Germanic, possibly just a little more generic European city fort. Maps about non-Germany? I know, weird. All right. What was I doing here? I was looking at these cities. Well, that's an interesting looking town. Where's their gate? Trying to find an old image of some of these towns. So these people have these do have stone walls. Okay, that makes sense. Those are cool. That's kind of like the old Romanesque gates around things. Let's check this once. I wonder if we want to have 3 gates. Maybe I only put the 2 gates in there. Make the merchant gate on this side, King's Gate on this side. Merchant gate feeds into the low town and everything. And then where the low town stuff curves on through, it meets where the King's Gate comes through. And that leads to the walkways and the ramparts and stuff to head up to the King's area. Because I don't want it to be too crazy. Let me do something really quickly here for my own brain. All right, we're going to do a new map, and we're going to do it as, oh boy, is it feudal I want? Oh my gosh, I don't remember which one it is. We're making a new map really quickly here so I can draw something. And we go with land. Boo, we need a much bigger brush than that. Boop, 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 boop. We're just gonna make a beautiful big area here. Not gonna be perfect, but we're gonna play around with it. Because I'm coming up with some thoughts here. Because where this comes on through, make a bunch of land here. All right. And we'll figure out the rest of it. Just putting all land in here so I can do this. I wish they had a flood fill for this, but fine. I'll survive. All right, we go in, we put the water in because we've got a river. It's going to be kind of big. It's going to be coming through. All right, we got a river coming on through there. That's as big as I can make the river? Wow. Okay. Well, we'll just make the fortress a little bit smaller then. I probably could have found a way to make it a little larger. But we're going to do that. We're going to get some symbols in here of Das Mountains. It's going to be hills mainly. So we're going to go a little larger with these. Wow, that doesn't make them very big, does it? Well, pretend we're building this thing. I guess I made this a little larger than I expected it to be. All right, so we got hills and whatnot here. We got hills and whatnot here. And the main part of the fortress is going to be butted up on the top of the back of these hills because nobody can get around the town that way. There are hills. This is going to be the nestling place of where all this goes. The path for the road, just so we don't have to worry too much about it, we're going to go with this. We'll make the color lovely orangey color. So the road will come down along the river. All right, this is me just kind of putting this stuff together. This is this road coming down into the town. This road will be the other road that comes and meets with it right in front of town. So we'll have the two gates. I don't know if there are anything like walls, paths, segments, symbols. Can't really draw a whole lot of. I don't even think they have wall segments in there, do they? Let's see. Oh, they do have wall pieces. Well, I can try and make a city without these walls. It's just going to be a little weird. I don't really need to do too much of it because really all I want is some placement here. I want to figure out how I would place the gates and stuff for my own. Hey, those are horrible pictures. Wow, that's all they have for gates, huh? Okay. So I think we'll just Imagineer it here. We're going to go into here. I can do this later too when I'm not on stream. Oh my God. I'm not on stream. I can play around with the ideas. Because they only have wooden or stone castles. They don't have. Do they not have any forts in here? That's fort, but that's a very Middle Eastern looking fort. All right, let's see if we got some buildings in here that are not too weird. Man, these buildings are all crazy. Let's just find something that looks sort of like a hall. Let's put that in there. Just for lack of a better anything, we'll put something in here. We've got a few different ones. We'll just throw. We've got the big hall up here. We'll just throw a few buildings together to kind of represent, you know, whatever the hell this is up here. And I don't want that house. And this thing here. So we've got whatever it is, a couple of buildings here, and we'll put that thing and one of these here, and we'll put some of that there. So we've got the lower town is going to be all over the place out here. It's just going to be bits and pieces. And the hill and the escarpment, because I think there were cliffs in here somewhere. I think there's a whole set of cliffs. I thought there were, aren't there? No? There we go. There's the cliffs. I gotta find some that face the right direction, though, don't I? I mean, this kind of works. Gives you the idea. Well, it doesn't really work there. You have the idea that part of this place is up on rise here. And is there another one for that direction? Kind of that one. Yeah, there we go. So got the idea that this part is up on the hill. The road will go through it. Go with a little more hills here. And the main part of the road, go through town this way, and then the gates will be there. So upper part of the town, lower part of the town. Mostly I'm just doing this to try and get my brain around the idea of how this would work. Those connected on there. I'll put this guy here. We'll put, let's see if we find another guy here. Here for that. And do we have one more piece that would work? And snuggle this guy in here and make him kind of fit with all that. So we got plateau and hills or whatever. The fortress is going to be up there. The little part of the town's there with the fortifications all the way around the outside, gate and gate. So the idea is this old town down here is going to be encircled by, and I could go back into paths and do this. I could do, let's see, use this one. Maybe this one will work. Yeah, because I could do this for the idea of the outer walls. Yeah, because then it'll go across and it would dead end into the hillside there, but we'll put it would go behind. Let's see, I'd need this to be draw over symbols. No, I want it under the symbols. Oops, that didn't work. All right, well, whatever. I can figure out a color for this. We'll just put a dark brown color. Make it a little larger. And we'll make the width a little larger. Colors. All right. So if we did this, oh, that roughness is a little crazy. We don't want it very rough. The idea, if we did this, would be that the outer part of this city would be built up around there. And then the top part of the city would have its own fortifications. You know, I can move some of these hills and some of them around. Not that it matters a whole lot. Oops, not what I'm trying to do. I'm just going to, I got out of the paths. That it would have its own fortifications up here, but the older stuff is out there. The stuff up here is all the stone walls. And then the defenders would have to come through, go all the way through, follow the roads and everything to get up there. So they have to fight all the way through, plus through these. Okay, that makes sense. Model of medieval Munich that you could find online. It's on the Bavarian National Museum website. So the wall will encircle all of the low town. That wooden wall that I put on there, that brown wall, that's a wooden wall. The upper part on the hill has its own walls that are the old Agrian walls. These walls down here are Freilander walls. Those are the wooden palisades with the cool, what did I even call them? You find it? The hoardings, the overhanging wooden hoardings with the roofs and everything. And then this plateau, which is higher, so the lower city is here coming up the hill, and then there's the plateau and the higher city where the main fortress and all the other important buildings are up here. So this one, if I were to draw those in there, I went in here, and I changed this color to a gray. And we might want to make this a little bit smaller. This will look really weird because it's going to cut across some of this stuff. But the idea is that these walls encircle this whole thing up here. It'll look a little weird with the shapes that I'm doing because I'm doing round because it's got a curve to it. So it would have walls there, but there's also the actual wall that encircles this main thing. So there'd be 3 tiers to it. So if you looked at it from the side, there'd be the low city coming up the hill, and then there's the higher part of the city with the more important buildings, and then there's the fortress up above it. And these gray walls up here are the Agrian walls, and there's supposed to be another little extra fort guarding because this is where people would come through for their normal footpaths and whatnot. Because then both of those roads would come through. Oh, I gotta make that a little smaller. Don't die. Those roads would come up here, go through this portion of the city, and then come up here, and that would get into there. But this, I suppose that should even be more cordoned off, shouldn't it? That's why That's why I like building these things. I just playing around with them going, nope, that won't work. Nope, that won't work. Nope, that won't work. But this would technically have, uh, however, it's cordoned off as well. So it's a little bastion, a little barbican, a little fortress that you go on through to go on up into it. The idea that this place is supposed to be old, not quite as old, and much newer, but all of it kind of having the definite feel of the Freilanders, just using Agrian walls, because, well, when they subjected themselves to Agrian rule, they had all the same stuff built for them. All right, let's save this as Gutenberg version 1. There we go. Boop. Yeah, there's multiple levels of fortification. The wooden walls down here are the cool ones that you'd see in like a fantasy novel, where they have the cool wooden walls. They have these outside. They have the cool wooden walls with the defenses and their pennants flying and all that stuff. His outside. I may move the hills back inside. We'll see. I don't know. The idea is that it's just a city on a hill with more city down around, and then everything outlying it is, just fields everywhere. I could actually go that far too, because there are lots of field things that I could put out here. So we could do, tons of. They have some fields that counter to one another. Fields don't work together very well. They don't have very good angles on these things. You can blend them together, kind of. Make it look like fields, sort of. You throw the little stables and stuff in here. Look, they've got their stable up there. Or a field. They got these little strips. I wonder if I can actually rotate these things. Reset. Full scale. Can I don't think I can rotate these, but I can stick them through each other slightly. So it would look like, there are fields everywhere out here. And then if I took some cross-hatching fields, could do whatever we want to them. A little weird that way. Looks a little bit too ordered. Don't like it. Whatever. We're not worried about that yet. We've just got fields. So basically there's going to be fields and stuff out there and people doing stuff, and there'll be roads between them and all those fun things. All right. So we got the idea of this would be the labels. Let's find the labels. We'll go with four. Yeah, I don't know what color we wanted this to be. Oh, that is the Merchant's Gate. So we got the Merchant's Gate over here. Got the King's Gate over here. On this side, that'll be where the King's Gate is. Then we'll have to decide, I'm assuming there's a bridge right here, actually, because it wouldn't make sense to have the bridge anywhere else. There, we'll just put that there. Just a tiny little bridge like that, right? Right. We got the main gate, or the main bridge over the gate, or the bridge over the river. Got a couple of hills that are impeding upon other things here. Yeah. Really does sound like Munich, just with mountains. Cool. I'm trying to remember. Did I go to Munich when I was in Germany? No, I was in Dusseldorf and Neuss, and then I was in Cologne, and that's mostly what I did, and some places in between. Those are most of the places I was in when I was in Germany. I wasn't there very long, like a few days, but it was a really fun place. I liked it. People were very nice, and I loved seeing all the Roman stuff. All right, so Merchant's Gate. Nobody tell Moss that I accidentally just typed Eastern when I meant Western. Don't tell him. I'll never hear the end of it. Wait, is this Dunberga up here? Let me go back here. Let's open. Yeah, it's currently busy. I get it. Problems. So it's it's Dunbur. Okay, and Dunberga is over there. Okay, yeah. Weester. It's Weast. I thought you meant Weast. Right. Um. Ooh, I had a with my meal. I had one of those immunity boost things. The organic. This is a different brand than the one I got with the factor meals. This one has more capsaicin and cayenne and everything in it, and it has none of the sweetness. So I mix it with hot honey, and now it suddenly just hit me. I'm like, ooh, time for me to do this. I was just sitting there, all of a sudden, I'm like, whoo, it got me. It's immunizing me or something, whatever that is. By the way, cats are very intrigued by this. They're like, and then they go like, ugh, ugh. They can't keep away from it, but they hate it at the same time. They get too close. They're like, no, but I want one more sniff. But no, I want one more sniff. All right, so the Merchant's Gate, situated on the western side of the new city, the Merchant Gate handles all of the traffic coming along the main Agrine Road from the south and from Solinar as well. Let's see. As well as troops coming back and forth from Dunbor in the northeast. We're gonna leave it like that. Because technically, most of the stuff goes through walled down here. They don't go down through this part of the wilderness, so we'll leave that like that is. We'll pretend that makes sense. Main ag south. Da, da, da. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, so this view is what greets most visitors from Fryland's capital, unless they've come over land through the Kingswold in the east. Via Greenhaven. All right. Kingsgate. Also called... So I'm trying to decide here. What do you guys think about this? So the dwarves and the people of Fryland have a good relationship. They're totally on good terms. They trade. They sell things back and forth. They're in, like I said, they're in good stead with one another. The gate on this side leads up off into the distance up here to their fortresses, but it also heads through Greenhaven into the Kingswold and then on towards Sennis Fall and Austin and all these places. The other big town for trading that's right on the way here is Silverton. So I'm trying to decide if this... I'm calling it the King's Gate because it heads to the Kingswold, but it also heads up to the King's Fortress here at Dunberga. I'm wondering if it should have like just a local name, like what people call it. Also, would they call it? I was right. Would they call it the Dwarf Gate because the dwarves, when the dwarves come and visit, they only come through this gate? Should they call it the Green Gate because it heads off into the greener part and the wider part of the whole country? I don't know which sounds better to you when you're like, if you were a local or if you're a person who knew the place and people called it, oh, it's the King's Gate, but everybody else around is like, yeah, Green Gate, go to Green Gate or go to the Dwarf Gate. You have any thoughts on that? There's something wrong with me, probably a medical name for it. What would that be, Chrysanth? Vampirism? Is that what you're trying to say? Slander. And or libel. Maybe. This king would have been Berga. And so I'm trying to find, where is it here? Now, let's see if I can find the information here. Thornwold, Russia. A lot of dwarves, halflings, and gnomes living in the southern part of the lands. All right, here we go. We go back up here once. There's a piece of lore here. Now I gotta find it. Ah, is that right? I'm trying to find the point or the note here about this. Is it? Oh, I wonder if I actually put it. Oh, wait, maybe it's in the peoples and factions section. Oops. Let's look here really quickly. Agrians, Frylanders, okay. Yeah. Gut, the Spear of Berga, slew his tyrannical master and worked to unify the other marches. So, Göteborg is a city named after the hero who killed his tyrannical master, who was Berga, because his name was Guta, and he was called the Spear of Berga because he was his mightiest fighter. So Göteborg is the city that they built named after him. Dunberga was the great fortress of the old king. So you could call it the Spear Gate. You could call it, yeah, Gute Gate. It just sounds a little weird. Yeah, it could be that. Little Gate, just because I find it funny that the gate is massive because it's used by dwarves. They call it Little. Ha! I think we're going to give it two names. Um, and I'm going to fit a couple of other things into it because of that. Let's get back up to the Frylanders. All right. All right. Also called. Whoops. And I'm going to do something fun with that. Also referred to as Little Gate and Berga's Door is Gate, more ornate than the Merchant's Gate. Of course, my brother's calling me right now. Hopefully, it's nothing important. If it is important, he will text me right afterwards. All right, so the parade ground directly outside of the gate houses the semi. Word just slipped out of my mind. I was just about to type it. Delegation. So the parade ground directly outside the gate houses a semi-permanent residence of the Silvermon delegation. The beheading of a former king. And I just realized I put north. I gotta change this one around because I think that will be, yeah, that'll make more sense. All right. Houses a semi-permanent residence of the Silvermount delegation. Has seen the beheading of a former king and serves. We'll say the tyrant Verga. Seen the beheading of the tyrant Berrigan serves as the portal of the king's fortress in the northeast. All right. So yeah, it's Berga's door because this is where he was shown the door, so to speak. Its designation of Little Gate refers to the dwarven delegation's use of the portal and has nothing to do with its scale. There we go. That's fun. We're putting little bits of lore in there. I like it. This is where the lore stuff really gets to go, and people get to read deep, or not if they don't want to. The tyrant Berga. He was quite a warlord. If only he hadn't been such a monster. Oh well. All right, so we've got that. We got that. Ooh. Um. Let's see, the majority of the people who reside within the walls of Hilltown. Check something quickly here. I've got a whole bunch of notes. Is it the end of this? I think it's at the end of this. Let's see. We're gonna call it Barrowton. Call it Barrowton. I'm trying to use like some old Saxon words to kind of give these places their names. And Worth is an enclosure, and a Tun is an enclosure. Now, a Bur is a fortified town, but I already have a Dunbur. We could call this. Could call this. Dunton is kind of boring, but it could work. We could call it Dunwick. But that would imply a little more of a farm. We could call it Dunstow because it's the meeting place, the hill meeting place. But it's supposed to be a town or a city. We could go with Ham or Heim. Done. Could have a Vicus. We could just call it Vic. I think we're just gonna call it Wick or Vic. Because it basically was the Vicus of the fortress when it was Agrian. This was the city town, which became the walled-in part. We're just gonna call it Vicus, or we're gonna call it Wick or Vic, WICK or VIK. It's gonna be the name of the place instead of Hilltown. Because it's technically just a a district within the main town, but it had its own little name. By the way, what are people up to tonight? Today it's been relatively nice. The cats were so excited that it was so pleasant. The rain stopped. They were hanging out on the heat mats. They were just stretched out like instead of loafing, they were like laying out just full across the heat mat. Not a care in the world. It got up to 61 today, which was great. They just loved it. Sorry, I'm still having little sniffles. It's really draining through the right side of my nose. I don't know. Did I get more pepper in the right side of my nose? Woo. Maybe I should stop putting hot honey in those to sweeten them up. Might not be a smart idea. The rain hit here now. It's 50 degrees. You're under blankets. Blankets. Blankets are nice. I like light blankets, personally. No, I got weighted blankets. I mean, light blankets, like breathable blankets. I got weighted blankets for my friend and her daughter, and they absolutely love those things. I don't think they were the heaviest version. They were like a medium version of a weighted blanket. Oops. There. Mooch. I'm finally now that I got all the thoughts on my head, I'm gonna go look at the medieval Munich model. All right, what do we got here? All right, let's view that file. Ooh, that's cool. I like it. Yeah, theirs is a little more flat. They have the church and stuff like that. Okay. Oh, that's a totally different. That's interesting. That's a completely different version of Munich. That can't be the same city. Interested in editorial comment? No. That doesn't help. Yeah, this other picture I see of Munich looks like it's like a long thing along a river with the bridge going out. Interesting. The other one is a very different looking version of the city where it's got like a huge spread. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Well, I'm going to save both these images, even though they're kind of hard to make out because they have watermarks all over them. Oh, that one doesn't want to. Okay. Save image as. Oh, this is a much older version. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. They have the hills and the forts and the defenses. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I like both of them. Whatever that other one is, it's still a really cool image. You do weighted blankets the old-fashioned way, get under 7 blankets. There you go. Might be from the other side of the siren. Yeah, well, what's weird is they are not even the same city layout parts. So I'm thinking that somebody maybe either it's a very old version where it was like much smaller and a completely different shape, or it's only showing one set of the fortifications and things because it's got hillside fortifications where it's on the side of the river. But regardless, it's really cool looking. I like them. Nice. Well, that'll give me some more stuff to work on when I actually make an actual cool drawing of the city. I'm so limited in that angled view that I have to deal with the stuff in the drawing program. So I can't do the layout the normal way I normally would on paper. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to get just sheets of paper. I'm going to start drawing this stuff out, then scan them in. Yeah, it's weird because these are on two different sites. One of them has a covered bridge going over the river, and one of them doesn't. So I think this one might be a different city or a different part of a city or something. But the big spread out one with the cool churches inside is a very cool image. Because this one's in the model of Munich by Jacob Santner, 1570, in the National Museum. The other one just says Shutterstock image of a model of Munich, and I'm like, huh, okay. Some of the drawings are pretty cool too, though. Oh, that's not a picture of me. That's just a lady on a set of steps. Sure. Oh, they have another one that's cool. A little 3D medieval look at it with the little buildings, all the buildings hooked together in old Munich. Nice. Cool old medieval city gates with the clock towers. Very cool. They won't have anything that grand because, well, they're not that far. They're not that far. Hey, Rudai, if you're out there, we should ask. Since Vulcan is the god of innovation and all that stuff, do they have at this point? Would they have like water clocks and stuff like that? So, if you're looking at this later, Rudai, hello from the past. Uh, but yeah, just curious if they have, since they can do a lot of other stuff, if they would have water clocks and such. Houses, inns, taverns, rat house. Other entertainment venues. What else do we want to call out about the Vic? Oh, the music stopped. I'm sitting here thinking. Right. All right, there we go. Skip that ad. Oh, look at that. We're gonna listen to a little aha, little Norwegian rock. I just heard a squeak, squeak, squeak at the door over there, right when I started the music. I'm gonna go see if something's up, because who knows? Maybe there's a cat who's visiting that they don't want out there, or they're just being little pushy little buggers. I'll be right back. Chair stream for a second. Here, do something fun, but don't entertain them too much. I want to have a place to go, or I want to have my place back. Please don't love the chair. We had 4 visitors. Now we're only going to have 1 visitor because at the last instant, the other 3 went out. Hello, Mr. Visitor Cat. Would you like to hop up on my lap? Come on up. Good boy. We've got our favorite Italian Lothario here. Vino. Hello, Bap. We got a Calvino. He wanted to come in, and everybody else came in, and then they all wanted to go right back out because whatever's going on. He just wants to snuggle a bit. Okay. Be a good snuggler and don't try and steal my hands today, okay? He got me killed in Grand Theft Auto yesterday because he wouldn't let go of my hands when I was using the controller. It's the Floof Calvino. It's time to give these guys flea and tick medicine this weekend, too. The day has been chosen. Saturday is the day of flea and tick medicine. Whee! Luckily, it's just the little stuff I put on the back of their neck. Some of them are wise to it, though, and I have to trick them with a treat and then squeeze the little tube at the back of their neck, and they hear that little noise, and they're like, ah, he's stabbing me. No. Oh, my goodness, that was a yawn. Hi. I know, I woke them up when I opened the door because Kibble was the one who was squeaking on the door. Calvino, Benji, and Wolfie were curled up on one of the outside patio chairs, like in a big pile. And I opened it, and all of a sudden 3 heads are like, what's going on? And he's very sleepy. Very snugly sleepy, grabbing a hold of me like I'm a teddy bear. How's it going, Bap? I hear there was a cookie incident. Can I have my hand back? Can I have my left hand back now, too? Can I? No? Please? I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for my hand back today. Yeah, you can lay down without my hand. You can sleep without my hand. You can do it. You're a big kitty. You're a clever cat. All right, there you go. All right, so Vic. Majority of the people who reside within the walls of Göteborg are within the wooden walls of Vic, settlement that used to be the Vicus of the Agrarian outpost and fort. This is where the main markets and workplaces of the common Freiland folk are. Their houses, inns, taverns, and rat house. I don't need these capitalized. Rat House, as well as other entertainment venues, which we will not specify. I will neither confirm nor deny the cookie incident. All right. Where did I put those words? I guess we'll call this the yeah, buddy. Go ahead, take a nap. I read this properly. Yeah, you're okay, Kelly. You don't need attention every day. Hi, what's up? What? Yeah. I don't know if you could hear him responding to me. He's giving me a little. I didn't get a full mouth, did I? I didn't get a full mouth. Oh, you're getting a chin rub, though. Happy cat. Is it better? You got the attention paid to you? I paid the attention tax? Okay, good. Ralph. Couch cookies. Good boy. He's flipping his tail around, so he's pleased, but also is like probably wants to go fight, do some fighting. What? What? What do you need? You say it to me again? Yeah, good boy. Okay, I'll give you a pet for that. That was a good one. Happy boy. All right, I'll let him have my left hand to scratch his little floof. I scratch the little his whatever they call it, the ruff, the chin floof. He loves just being like scratch. Don't you? Yeah, you get that little happy look in your eyes when I do that. Oh, hey, the ribs are delicious and your office was warm. Nice. Excellent. I'm glad the office ribs were a success. Did you have anybody else complaining that they didn't get any of your office ribs? It would. All right, I gotta type more. Can I have the hand? No? Okay, I gotta scratch the top of your head. Okay, good. All right. Yep, that's what I want to do with my life. Scratch the kitty cat's head. Ralph. Office ribs. Okay, can I have my hand back now? Can I have my hand back? Please? All right, I'll type with this hand. There you go. Give yourself a bath. There you go. Keep yourself busy. Military leaders, delegates, and the king's family live and work on the rocky rise the Boros built upon, encircled by ancient Agrian fortifications. All right. Few Fryland commoners ever visit the Rise except on feast days or if they are called to court on business or matters of law. You shared with your coworkers. Oh, nice. Oh, man, you just made everybody love you. Trying to think of other slow cooker recipes that take all night to cook. Well, chili's always nice. You put a really meaty chili in there and just let it simmer all night. Oh. Hi. What? What? What do you need? Do you need more love? Okay, here we go. Some more love. He's very, very talkative today. Don't you, buddy? Ooh, a pork roast. Oh, that would be a good one. A pork roast, a beef roast, a pot roast would work really well too. Oh man. You just put the potatoes and things in a little bit later after you let that thing sit there for hours and hours. So good. All right, can I have my hand back now? That's the problem with negotiating with the cat. 90% their way, 10% my way. Yes, I love you, Calvino, but I've got to type. I got to keep typing. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, for the call to court on business or matters of law. I'm trying to think what other stuff we want to put in the town here. Go ahead, give yourself a bath. I won't stop you. Keep yourself busy. See you guys think I'm in the mod to chat. I'm really here on Arudai's orders to make sure the wizard meets his quota. Exactly. Typity, typity, typity. She keeps sending me messages that are just pictures of wizard glue. I'm typing. I'm typing. Not going to really talk too much about the temples and stuff because there are temples to Vulcan and Arendor and everything in the town. Nothing too special about them. Trying to decide if there should be a temple to like Kika here. Like an ancient temple to Kika up on the rise. And there's a reason for this, but it's deeper lore and it's also adventure related in some ways. So I won't be explaining a whole lot of it, but it's supposed to be an oddity. out of the fort. You're gonna have to buy a fridge to hold all this great food. Hey, you might have to, with JJ. Wait, Chrysanth actually helps Erudai sometimes? Well, I mean, even Erudai needs help. Sorry, I was just laughing at the messages I saw. I'm sorry, I was laughing, Kelvin. I wasn't laughing at you. You're doing your cleaning just right. Nothing comical about it. You're a good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. Oh, yep. Enjoy. What? What do you need? Do you need love? Oh, okay. He needs love. Come here. Come here. You gotta come here to get the love. You come to me? Will you meet me halfway? Negotiation was the cat. Halfway, 90%. Okay, I come to you. All right, fine. He didn't move a muscle the whole time. He just stared at me like, and? And where's the love? Where's the love? But I am much stronger than you, and I can pick you up. I can, and I will. I will pick you up. He's like, no, you won't. I'm too adorable to be picked up, and he's right. I can't move him now because he turned on adorable mode. Ooh, nice. In my Discord, one half of the development team of Cotton Seas is in my Discord. She joined and she hangs out. She chats with us occasionally. She just let me know that there's a new update on the 25th. I'm going to be trying that again. Great. You said you spent time in Germany. Any favorite foods or sites? I loved Neuss, quite honestly. For whatever reason, Dusseldorf and Neuss, the little bakeries and things there right on the river, it was just such a nice little place. Little ducks in the morning walking around in the wet streets. It was great. Fire! Exactly, Chrysanth. An enforcer for hire paycheck is a paycheck as long as the front is signed and I don't ask questions. Nice. But yeah, I love Dusseldorf. I love Neuss. Cologne was really great. I love the Roman Museum there and the oh my gosh, what's it called? The big church there. Yeah, that one. The one that's famous and has a name and all that. And I forgot its name suddenly. Hi. You're not gonna talk to me? He thinks I'm mocking him. He's like, stop mocking me. And the train ride between Dusseldorf and Cologne was the one where I rode backwards for the first time in a train. It's the only time in my life I've ever felt motion sickness. So going backwards at that speed for a long period of time was like, this is weird. Found a bunch of neat little restaurants, but I was there during asparagus season. What's up, buddy? Why did you just jump like you got shocked with electricity? Why did you get jumpy? Hey. So every place had their own asparagus recipe, and they had their own beer. Hi. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you could hear him purring there. I'm just moving you a little bit to give you snuggles, but also give my leg a rest for a second. Yeah, I needed to rest my leg because you're putting my leg to sleep. But there was a couple of antique shops, and the one guy there was in an antique shop. He spoke English incredibly well, and he kept trying to sell me all these beautiful old pieces of furniture from like the 1700s. And I was like, I have no way of getting it home. And he's like, we can ship it. I was like, I don't want to ship a piece of antique German furniture all the way home because at that point I lived in a little tiny apartment. I was like, what am I going to do with an antique piece of German furniture? And now I'm like, why didn't I buy that antique piece of German furniture? I was such a dork. Let's see. Thinking about this Temple of Kika. Right now I have an unusual feature of the Boer is the ancient Agrian Temple of Kika that takes up a place of honor within the layout of the fort. Hi, Calvino. You're such a good boy. Purry kitty. Yes, he is a purry kitty. Someday I'm going to manage to get his brother, Benji, to be in here while I'm streaming. And I'm going to get him all purry, and I'm going to bring him up to the microphone, and you can hear the gravelly crackle purr. Yeah. It's very different than Calvino's purr. All right. Kika, Kika, Kika. I'm gonna go with I think they're gonna keep the Temple of Kika very very angry but very colorful. Hi, are you gonna roll over here? What are you doing? You look like you want to go do something. You got your murder paws out. What's going on? I don't want to be murdered. If I die on stream to him, don't give him the insurance money. Don't give Calvino the insurance money if he does it. No matter how cute he looks at the camera afterwards. He doesn't get the insurance money if he kills me on stream. No. Man. He's just making biscuits of my flesh. An unusual sight in Frywood. The Agrian architecture of the temple. ZD had a deep, rumbly purr, which is completely at odds with his high-pitched, wimpy meow. Don't. I was going to give him the insurance money and put him in my will. Oh, man. Oh, well. You're going to live like a king, buddy. Especially after he took out that $3 million insurance policy the other day. I think it's totally worth the investment. He convinced me. He's very convincing. Give you the insurance money. All right, Calvino, you're going to have to possibly share the horror host that he wants to share. What do you think? He just moved his head on my hand and went further asleep. You make it so impossible to work, buddy. You have my right hand pinned under your neck, your head, and two of your paws. You're holding onto it like a teddy bear. And my left hand is free to type, but I can't use the mouse very easily because I'm not left-handed, bud. And he is flipping his tail back and forth. He is in such a killer mood right now. You are in seventh heaven at the moment, aren't you? All right. Anyway, let's see here. An unusual sight in Fryland. The agrarian architecture of the temple is painted in fine colors and kept fresh, unlike the majority of the old structures which the Frylanders have let fade. Can I have my hand? Oh my gosh, buddy. Thank you. Haha. I tricked him by moving my other hand around. The high priestess of the temple is the niece of the current. Okay. The current high priestess of the temple is the niece of the current queen. It has been given great latitude where the temple is concerned. Okay, there we go. Added a little update. It was. Oh wait, he put another update on the post. I read the post. Did he updated it again? Let me go check. Let me go check. Oh, 4:56 p.m. on May 22nd. That was today? Oh, he did. Why did it not pop up for me? Okay, mums have two forms of olfactory language. Mum said, mum said. Ah, that's pretty fun. I like it. Did you have a hand in any of that, Chrysanth? Oh, okay. Yep. Did a little update because you and he were trying. Oh, perfect. Look at you working on the lore with him. Nice. You've accepted that you are now Mother Mum. What? Okay, that's horrifying. Sorry. Sorry. Weirdness. People are strange. All right, let's see. What else do we want to cover in this fantastic little town? He's been trying to force my hand on the whole be creative thing. Ah, there you go. You've been creative. You've been creatively made to be creative. Ha! Super magical coolness. Oops. Almost closed my music there trying to close these tabs. All right. We've got the King's Gate. We got the Merchant's Gate. We have the Vic, the Bourg, the High Town, or the Rise. That Albino's finally taking a bath and just ignoring me with his murder paws out. He's doing this. Showing his claws while cleaning his arm or his leg, whatever you call it. Arm. Cat arms. Cats don't have arms, luckily. Okay. Hello, this eccentric. How's it going over there? I want to come up with another fact or an interesting thing about Göteborg. Oh, I know what I should do. The whole side that's on the river where all the ports are, or not ports, but all the moorings for ships that are in their own little area outside the walls. I got a hunch over this cat who's doing his best to get in my way while he's taking a bath. Yeah, I'm typing. Hi. What? Okay. What? I'm still sniffling from the hot peppers shot. Hot pepper and turmeric shot. You're purring like a madman. Good job. All right. There we go. Yeah, exactly, horror host. That's what I'm working on. Port side. So it does have a river port, and it's wide and it's big and it's deep. So it's got quite a bit of and that's why I literally it's just called port side. It's going to have all kinds of docks and whatever you want to call them all the way along. I had a cool picture that I was looking at that showed a really cool medieval set of docks on the edge of an old city, but now I can't find the dang thing. Where is it? Huh. Was it? It wasn't part of that. It showed stuff on both sides of the river. Huh. Okay, well, I'll look around see if I can find that picture because it might have been off of one of these sites. Nope, it wasn't off that one. That's a cool picture. Hi. Hi. What? You need more love, oh. He was looking around like, oh no, I haven't had love in seconds. You need scritches and scratches. Yes, bars and brothels. Hi. Hello. 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 Hi. You're a good cat. You know that? He just shook his head no. All right. Hey, my nose isn't as sniffly as it was before. I think the pepper is going away. The pepper is going away. Yeah. You're not making the noises. I sound like an idiot. All I have to do is put my thumb out. For whatever reason, he thinks my thumbs look like tastiest food ever. You can see him reaching for it. Yep, he's going to grab it and trying to eat my thumb. You can't have my thumb. Okay, I'm taking my hand back. Oh my gosh, look at this. I can't. This is a paw. He doesn't want to let go. Let go. Let me have my arm. Thank you. You know, I want pigs in a blanket. Why do you want pigs in a blanket all of a sudden? Because we're talking about seedy ports and brothels? That's weird. I found a really cool picture here that I'm going to save out. It has a really interesting and kind of ingenious part of a city. If you're looking at it from top down, there's a city over here, and it comes out to the edge of the river. Okay, there goes Calvino. Oh my gosh, he's going to fall off me. I thought he was going to rip my leg open. Good job, bud. And the river comes down, and it moves around in this little bump out and then keeps going down. And where that bump out is, there's an island and an extension of the town and a tower built there. And the boats can go under the bridge, or they can go in this roundabout thing. And it seems to have another set of gates and something. And I'm like, what is that? I'm gonna have to research and see why they have that. It's pretty neat. It's like they built a little thing and pulled an edge of the river around it for some reason. And I'm like, why? Do you need to go outside, buddy? All right, forgive me for a second. I have 8 minutes left. I'm going to go let him out. What? You need to go out that bad? Okay, you're moving. Fine. I'll go outside that badly? Come here. Come on. Come on. I got to finish my stream up here. Come on, buddy. He tricked and bamboozled me. He didn't want to go out. He was trying to convince me to come over and sit on the couch with him. Dork. Chat runs the stream. Chat runs the stream. Woo! Nice. Give back arm. Give back arm. All right, so I'm going to be covering some other stuff when I write the next portion of this, but I got to snip off the edge of my fingernail here because Calvino grabbed a hold of it, and my fingernails don't break easily. I have to try really hard to cut them. Oh my gosh, this is a really nice cutter too. Sorry about the snipping noises. But when Calvino gets a hold of them sometimes, he can actually put gouges right in and through the edges of my fingernails with his teeth. Crazy cat. Anyway, so port side is the part where we're leaving off here. Let's see. Seedier side of Göteborg can be found here. Brothels, rowdy taverns full of mercenaries. And all right. As well as the Oh, headquarters does not have 2 T's in that part. Okay, yeah, that would be a problem. Trying to think. I had an idea of what I wanted to call, like, not a thieves guild, but kind of a criminal organization that, you know, could feature thieves, mercenaries, and things like that. But keep it themed, kind of like this medieval European thing. I was gonna go with something like something to do with a rat or something to do with darkness. I got a couple minutes here, right? I got like 3 minutes. I could go with, like, what is it? How do you pronounce it? Dusterkeit, Dusterkeit, or Dunkelheit. It seems a little. Just doesn't sound right to me. Hey, croissants, we could go with this. Oh wow, they have a one for Malrat. Ein Kaufzentrum Rate. Rattenpacken. Hey, I'm just looking up words for rat, and that was there. We're just gonna call them the Vasarata. The headquarters of the Vasarata, a fabled individual slash organization that handles all sorts of smuggling and illicit undertakings across Fryland and beyond. So this part of the town is supposed to be his headquarters, or the organization's headquarters, since nobody knows if it's a person or an organization. There we go. Don't you dare tell Aruda. I won't. But we are going to have the Vasarata. Vasarata! The Water Rat. Fabled individual organization that handles all sort of smuggling and illicit undertakings across Fryland and beyond. Okay, there we go. That works. All right, it's 7. We're done. I'm out of here. Forget you people. I mean, thanks for coming on by. I'm Frost. This was Frost Written. I'm working on the lore for the world of Legend Seeker, the RPG that Arudai is working on. So links are in the chat for how you can support us on Patreon and other places. Be back here Tuesday doing more of this. You can also find me on Moonskull, also on a few other channels. Just check the stuff in my link tree. You'll find me everywhere. And I will talk to you all later. Thank you for coming on by. Leave a like, leave a comment. And, well, if your comment is about how exciting and cool Calvino is, he will not be upset. So feel free. Lavish praise upon him. He'll be a happy cat. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.